Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Path of Exile, the Fall of Oriath Beta. I am now rocking the dual totem setup over here, which is probably, might not be quite as quick actually at this point as running the Earthquake, which I now have unlocked, or still going with Sunder, assuming I have a decent melee weapon to go along with it. But it's not like it's terribly slow, and it's also really easy and quite secure. Because, I mean, my build is... I was going to say, why is this guy still alive? Dirt, because he's a name dude. It's quite secure because a lot of enemies get distracted attacking the totems, and also I have a crap ton of hit points. Now, I still have... I guess I should spend this this point over here. We're actually going to Juggernaut for more life. I have a lot of life in general, which is good. I've also made some gearing choices here, like my shield that I'm using here. I like, by the way, that they've like made changes to the shields. So they all have like unique stuff. So these painted tower shields always give you more max life, which is kind of nice. I could be using a spirit shield or something like that gets extra spell damage, but I figure that all the life on this thing is probably better because, you know, not dying is pretty handy. My scepter over here, it doesn't have the greatest number. There's different base scepters with higher base increased elemental damage, and it's not like it's huge spell damage roll on there, but it is helping. I mean, our DPS, you know, 350 per totem isn't the worst. I did not mean to pick up that, but you know what, I've got it now, so we'll just vendor it. So yeah, so that's that. Let's I don't know, let's just keep powering through this level. Really, I need to be a little bit more cognizant about the placement of my totems to like make it a little bit more efficient, that they're going to hit more things at once. I also don't really have to like hang out here, right? Especially if I have my sound turned up a little higher so that I can hear the bongs of like good loot dropping. Oh, that's interesting. I had to buy a fire penetration support. Now we get one for free. Well, that's the way it goes. Yeah, like I can just keep running around, let the totems kill while I find the next pack over here. And then you can get a lot more XP a lot faster, especially early on when, you know, we're still lowish level here. And we're leveling quickly, so finding sweetest and most ideal loot at any given point isn't quite as important as just mostly leveling up fast and then finding new content. I probably want the Colossal Life Flask, actually. How much is that? 1,000. That's the insta-heal, and I already have a couple of Colossals. I suppose I could be enchanting them, though, so you know what? Let's go ahead and grab that. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, anyway. We should talk about our socket setup. So I am not playing with a +1 to fire gems weapon over here. I did actually have one for a little bit, because ideally you put your flame totem in there and it gives it +1 to level. It also is +1 level to fire penetration support, which is quite good. Really nice couple of things to load into your scepter with the +1 to fire gem. But I was able to find a 4-linked suit of armor, and I think I used a greed essence on this just to guarantee that it would have some life. And yeah, so you can get the 2% additional physical damage reduction, which is quite spiffy. So, you know, decent set of armor here with the 4 links, so I'm using that instead of the +1 to fire level gem. The other things I've got in here, I've got the faster projectile support, which the speed itself is actually kind of handy because it effectively gives your totems slightly longer range, also makes them a little bit more reliable at hitting things, but of course the big thing is that it gives you the 20% increased projectile damage. And I'm also running the Iron Will support here, which has the built-in bonus increased spell damage, which is nice, and our strength's damage bonus applies to spell damage as well, because every 5 points of strength would be +1 physical damage, and I think that just turns into bonus spell damage with that Iron Will support, which is pretty handy dandy. So just trying to increase that as much as possible if we can. So we've got to find a couple of things in here. That's not a good placement for the totems. I mean, ideally, because they always, the totem spray always penetrates, so you want it to like penetrate through as much stuff as possible, so that you get more bang for your buck. I guess I'll just hang out and wait for that to die. Totems last for 8 seconds as a base. They do take damage as well. I will sell that for a chromatic, because I will probably need to do some more chromatic-y things. Drop down a couple of totems, pop these guys. Actually, let's drop the totems over here. Replacing your totems isn't like the most useful use of your time because it does take a couple of seconds. Well, not literally a couple of seconds, but there is some delay before they start firing again. So you want to avoid moving them unnecessarily. I'm getting a lot of these flesh offerings, but I might be able to do some cells. Hello. I guess I won't bother with the Lordly Plate. I mean, it's better base armor than what I've got, but it's not like I'm unhappy with my current armor, and I do want the 4 links. I'm unlikely to replace my chest armor with anything that has less than 4 links at this point. Although if we got like a really good rare with some really cool rolls on it, then I might have to try to see if I can roll more sockets. It's tough because I don't have a whole lot of currency to do that. You get a lot more of the currency to do socket rerolls later on because when 6-link items start to drop, you can always vendor them for 7 jeweler's orbs, which is handy dandy. Okay, I gotta find that goddamn spirit somewhere in here. It's really annoying when you miss it. Also, I'm definitely not as efficient when I'm trying to talk here in terms of just movement and looking and catching things. Let's level the zone 35, and I am 37. Yeah, I did a couple laps of the dried lake just to level up a couple of the sport gems because they had just been socketed in, and maybe find some loot. I think that's where I found both the chest piece and the shield that I'm using now. So they were well worthwhile. Dried Lake is a popular place to kind of grind a little bit because it's wide open and there's good density of mobs, so you can sort of kill a lot. It'll be a bit of a shame if we don't have access to a Dried Lake type zone when we get to about level 65 or 70, because you don't usually grind it at the lower difficulty levels, but when you got to like the 3rd difficulty, it was quite common to do a lot of passes of that, mostly because the rest of this Act 4 content was actually quite brutal and very likely to kill you. Oh, I can't level up my fast projectiles. I need more dex for that. Okay. Fire pen, though. We'll increase that. That's awesome. The other thing I want to do, is I have not done the labyrinth yet, and that would be really good to do. But I was waiting to do that until you guys were around, so I guess that's probably what I should do now, actually. I just realized. Although, at this point, I'm going to find that goddamn spirit, and then I'm going to keep going to the next waypoint. But, yeah. Do I have a transmute? Let's go ahead and make this magic. Okay, well, that wasn't that helpful, but it's sometimes worth doing it, because why not? Like, a transmute orb is basically free, and sometimes you can get a good roll. You could also go and do like, re-roll the modifiers a bunch. I don't tend to do that on a normal treasure chest, but some of the special ones are worthwhile doing. Like, any of the ones that give you skill gems, it's worth re-rolling those. See, I don't suspect we're going to be in a good place to kill these guys. This one in particular is taking a fair while to kill. We don't have the highest DPS with this spell. We might be able to kill him before he goes away. Again, it's that slight delay in targeting. Nope, I don't think we killed him. Or did that drop from him? I'm not sure. It may have. It takes a slight second to start firing again after you recast it. And if the guy keeps moving and you keep having to recast it, then you don't really get as much DPS out of your spells as you might like. There's the spirit. Hello. So we got to kill Hammerstorm here. I don't think we have to kill him. I think we can free the spirit without killing him. Yeah, there we go. So we can complete the quest if he's a problem for some reason. But it looks like our totems are going to do a fine job of clearing him out. Although the Hammerstorm really does give a lot of splash damage, so it tends to murder the totems quite a bit. You can see our health is fine. We're feeling very little risk over here. We don't need the mana flask. It's going to be okay. All right, let me go to the next waypoint, and then what I'll do is I'll probably head into the labyrinth and see what we can do there. We should be, over-leveled. Labyrinth is a pain if you die in it because you have to restart the whole thing. So it's usually worth investing in a couple of levels before you get there. The other thing it's worth investing in is a good pair of gloves, which we don't have. Because one of the things you get for completing the lab is the ability to enchant your gloves with a cool bonus. And so you kind of want to make sure that it's a set of gloves that you're going to use for a little while. I mean, obviously, you could redo it at the next difficulty, although the next difficulty also gives you the option of doing gloves or helm. So ideally, it'd be really great if the gloves are still useful, and then you can just enchant a sweet, sweet helm. So, yeah, maybe I won't. I don't know. The sooner I do the laboratory, or the labyrinth, the better, because it will unlock my ascension skills, which are going to be quite potent. It's probably not worth farming the perfect set of gloves or anything like that. It's just a little bit disappointing. I actually was trying to craft some gloves, just like with a higher base. The gloves I have some neat modifiers on them. Well, they're not the most important. What do they have? Yeah, actually, other than the life, they've got, and the rarity boost, I suppose, they've got nothing going for them. And they're a low base item with not as much armor as it could get. So I could try to go and craft a few things, see what happens. Oh, nice packs over here. Just going to run around and distract them a little bit. I think totems generally target the thing closest to them. So you can use that, A, to help you kill, like, the bosses, but also, in theory, try to direct things so that they hit multiple dudes. You did not give anything useful. These spirit shields... Oh, it doesn't say anything built in here. Oh, it's got some energy shield. That's that one there. Okay. But yeah, they all have, like, unique traits. It is interesting to get a shield that gives you energy shield, though. Seems kind of redundant, but no. Death Lurch, you need to die, my friend. Agate Amulet. What I need is an amulet that gives me Dex and Intelligence, which I think I'm wearing now. I have a just plain Dex one. Int isn't quite as critical, but I think Flame Totem needs some Int, I think, to run an upgrade, right? Yeah, it's got an Int requirement. Not a very high one, so that's luckily okay. But Dexterity is going to be a little bit of a sore spot. Now, I could go in my talent tree. I've still got that plus 30 Ancestral Knowledge, which I may or may not need now. But I could pick up Expertise for the plus 30 to Dex, at least early on. It'll make it a lot easier for me to level up my gems. You know, again, until we get, like, sort of a good baseline equipment. And actually, I think I might go and do that. And those are just temporary points, but I think it's worth spending. Because I want to be able to keep leveling up my freaking faster projectile speed gem. Because, do you get more damage? Or is the damage fixed to 20? I actually don't know. I might have to check the wiki. I mean, if the damage doesn't go up, then it's really not as much of a priority. Although, I mean, the projectile speed is still nice. Because, again, it does mean your fire goes a little further. See, this is further than our fire used to reach. And it does affect the targeting. The targeting AI of the totem, as far as I know, is smart enough that it's aware of what its actual effective range is. And it will target things up to that distance away, which is kind of nice. So it gives you a lot more flexibility. So again, the primary purpose of the faster projectiles is the damage, but that's that. Hello, Lady Dialio. So I think probably go and do the labyrinth, despite, you know, maybe not having the sweetest gear. We can take a look and see if we can buy anything. So we're just gonna sell some of this stuff for now. I mean, you're not shabby, but it's not what we're looking for. I mean, I'm okay. And again, the sockets are important. So sell, sell, sell. 4 sockets, but we don't do energy shield, and this is a beta league, so I'm not going to keep it around. I'll keep you just in case I decide to do something else with someone else, and that's going to be fine. Okay. Do you sell the weapons? You do sell the weapons and armor. So we want, I guess, steel gauntlets. And we're a little bit limited in how much crafting we can do, but let's see. We might be able to do something. I can turn rares. What do I have for essences? Ugh. Ideally, probably like an Essence of Greed to guarantee a life roll. Yeah, none of these essences are useful. They all make rares, which is okay, but I could just straight up YOLO with the Orb of Alchemy here and hope we get something good. Alternatively, what I could just do is I could do some rerolls with the Orb of Alteration to hopefully find something. Mostly I'd be looking for something with life or bonus armor. And resistances would also be okay. I mean, we're capped on resistances, but it's not always going to be the case. I can probably just, like, do a random Orb of Alchemy here. I think that's going to be okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the quality first, because you get 5% quality to do this on white items. The interesting thing is, if something's a higher quality, you actually, when you do the Jeweler's Orbs and Orbs of Fusing, you get a higher percentage chance to get more sockets and more linked sockets and things. I'm not going to use those first. I'm going to see what we end up with our random here first. Wow, that is garbage. That is absolute trash. Oh, forgot I left you in the little bin there. You don't actually have to put things in there to craft. Just feels better. So, I mean, we'll get... Oh, we don't even get the blacksmith thing. Yeah, I guess not, because it's a thing. Well, I mean, that's somewhat disappointing. I think it's probably worth going in anyway. I mean, I could... if I just went and leveled up, then the shops would reset their inventory, and then I could... try. I mean, we're on the cusp of leveling. And I do have... So we don't need you. And we do have the ability to do another random rare. Should I just do that? Alright, let's just do that. Let's keep going a little bit further before we go. Sorry, This might not be the most exciting thing, or it might be the thing you're most interested in. I'm not sure. But it's what I'm going to be doing, so we're going to go. So I'll go. I always start with Comb's Dream because he's a big poopy head and I hate him, so I want to get rid of it first. Now, of course, we do a lot of fire damage here, and this is a pretty fiery place, so this actually might be slightly annoying for our build. I mean, it doesn't specify that they have any fire resistance, so it's probably mostly okay. We do have the fire penetration gem as well to help us overcome some of the resistance, which is really important. Our totems are going to be really handy for clearing out these little garbage dudes here, which is going to be swell. Nice pack over here, actually. Good concentration of stuff if we can get the spray to happen in the right area. Some people do link their totems with multiple projectiles, which you absolutely can do. Multiple projectiles does lower the damage per projectile, but then gives you a spray of 3, or if you go greater, 5 projectiles. I think the 5 projectiles really isn't as useful. It's important to note that you can't shotgun people. You can't hit one person with multiple projectiles from that effect and do more damage. So all the multiple projectiles do is give you a little bit more of a wide spray and AoE. And we already, because of the penetration, we already sort of have an effective, like, AoE kind of effect. So I don't think we actually gain very much by going with multiple projectiles, and we lose damage. So I think I'm happy with not going that way. I don't know. So I guess I'll pick up Expertise for now. I'm really not sure. 5120, and if I level you up, I should have just checked the wiki. No, it does increase the projectile damage. Okay, so we do want to go and max out fast projectile support. I mean, at 1% per level, it's not like it makes the hugest difference, but hey, any difference is a difference. And I guess with that, we have leveled up. So let's go ahead to the character screen. Come back over here. So every time you level up, the shops reset. Purchase items. Just get a new set of steel gauntlets, which is a 4-link. Well, look at that. That is actually quite wonderful. So again, I'm going to improve this, and I'm actually wondering if it might be better off. No, screw it. Alkit. There we go. Holy crap, that's really good right now. A bunch more armor and a bunch more to our life. The fire resistance will be okay. I mean, again, we're capped right now as far as I know, but the fact that it's a 4-link is wonderful. I'm going to be very happy going and getting this enchanted in the labyrinth unless things have changed. Watch it be completely different now. Did we get a full Orb of Augment from that? Huh, that's spiffy. Yeah, alright, let's go and do it. So, Act 3 is still where we enter the labyrinth. Yeah, I don't know how the future labyrinths are going to work. Curious. Boop. Yep, quest progression, excellent. Aspirant's Plaza, Get some waypoint? Oh, that is different. So now you can waypoint to here, and presumably there's going to be different choices to be made somewhere in here. Labyrinth activation device. Oh! Oh, you're also going to be doing the trial slightly differently, too. So obviously we select normal labyrinth, because it's the only one we have access to. Also, we don't want to die. Oh, that's quite spiffy. I like it. Alright, so, yeah, so Labyrinth. You need to navigate this, go through a variety of different zones, and get to the boss and kill him. If you die, you get kicked out of the Labyrinth, and you have to start over completely from scratch. Completely random every single time. So, you know, try not to die. Rule of thumb, by the way, you know, dying really doesn't help your game in general. I mean, it's doubly true in the Labyrinth. It's kind of cool, because the Labyrinth is an opportunity for a softcore character to feel a little bit of the pressure that a hardcore character feels. I mean, it's not quite as devastating to die still, but it's kind of annoying. So, I mean, in the higher difficulties, even a softcore character loses experience points when they die, so it's like, it feels pretty crummy. Although, if you're at 0 experience, like, you'll never go down a level. So, at a certain point, you can just kind of zerg content mindlessly. Which is often what you'll see for some of the end act bosses. Particularly the Act 4 bosses on the high difficulties. I believe, like, the grinding gear people keep stats as to where people die, like what zones people die in. And that's, like, by far the one that people die the most in. And it's mostly about that, like, death zerging. Because that guy can do a surprising amount of damage, and it's a long-ass fight. Bum, 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 bum. Burn, burn, Disco Inferno. Oh, nice little cluster over here. I mean, we should level up probably once in lab here. And it's only level 33. But, I mean, it's not like we're getting an XP penalty over here. Oh, there's the door. Excellent. And right into the trial. So, I think people... Oh, do we not get another map here? I was going to show the map and talk about it. We do have access to our stash from time to time. Well, at each one of these aspirants trials, so we're going to go ahead and just dump some stuff so that we're not loading up on our inventory too much. I like to grab the rings, because there's a few crafts you can do. So we have to fight the boss over here, and we are going to have to fight him 3 times ultimately. So here we have to bring him down. Does he just go away when he gets to 2/3 health? It's something like that. So he goes a little taunt, and then goes... Do we have to kill this guy? I don't remember. Yeah. Killing that thing will remove a buff from him, so it's often worth doing it. Although if we can arrange it so that it hits both dudes simultaneously, that would be quite good. There we go. I mean, I feel like our build is very tanky with lots of health, so I'm not too worried about him smacking me. Although you can see that's still quite a lot of damage, but there's still some value to removing his buffs. Lightning buff over here, so we'll just drop a couple of totems behind it so that he walks into it. And everything takes a bunch of... Oh, it's just going to reach him. Oh, we're not killing him. It's reaching him. And so we didn't do enough burst to, like, stop him from getting all the buffs. Okay. Never mind, then. That's okay. We can just mostly avoid. Nice thing is, we don't have to be near him at all. At all. Biggest thing right now is the fact that we don't have much in the way of mana regen. That's one of the things our gloves had, is actually a lot of mana regen, which was kind of handy. And we only have the 1 mana flask, and we don't have... Oh, there we go. So, he's done. And we don't have our blood magic yet, so... So we're going to have to do that 2 more times, each time slightly different maps. So yeah, as far as I know, I think they may have changed the base level 1 labyrinth to be more or less direct over here. Apparently there was a forgotten reliquary in the first one. Also, I mean, I guess, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff, but I think I'm quite happy to just speed through this this labyrinth more than clear everything completely. We don't have to get... What's his name? I want to say Izaro. I don't remember that's right. You know, there's a few things that are decent to get if you want to get a little bit more loot and a little bit more treasure, but I'm just going to go in the interest of time. I'm going to take the wrong path there, obviously, and then take some more damage there. These things can quite easily kill you because their damage is oh, there we go. Somewhat scaled, I think, based on your max HP. I'm not sure. Bane of the Loyal. So a lot of those reliquaries will give you a buff that will make the next fight against the boss easier. I don't think we killed that other pack, but that's okay. Those guys should die. That's not a way. This is a way. I mean, obviously, if you can avoid some of those saw blades, it's okay. But as long as you don't stand on them too long, that's the important thing. I do love the fact that the traps hurt the enemies as well. Like, it feels just, you know? Oh, that's on the ground. Okay. So we're just going to blink down there. We're using Flame Dash. Flame Dash is a great mobility spell that is doesn't use any... doesn't care about any weapons or anything like that. I mean, it's not the fastest, and it's not, you know, the most devastating to combo with whatever, but it does let you cross through gaps and certain walls, like cell bars and things like that, which is very important, and doesn't have a weapon requirement, which is good, because there's no movement speed booster that, like, combos with scepters or wands or anything like that. Probably the best one is Whirling Blades, even though Whirling Blades doesn't have... It's not an actual teleport, so it doesn't let you just skip through walls and shit, but it's fast. Okay, this is not the most direct path, but apparently it still connects. Whatever. You know what? We've explored a lot of the other maps, so it should be, in theory, easier to find what we're looking for. If we just stay on this one and we find the other door. Although apparently I'm not pathing very well. So, who knows? This dead end? It is a dead end. Okay. Get double saw-bladed. Oh, really? Those jars actually blocked my path? That's really annoying. Or, it could have been the spiders. I've noticed before that the spiders, even before they're completely up, their hitbox is active. And, therefore, they can block your pathing. I'm going to ignore that guy. And plop that down, see if we can get some more Quicksilver charges as we run around. Jesus Christ, where's the other door? And also, try not to die by standing, like, walking along one of those things. That would be the worst. I guess it's back here, and... Okay, you know what? I mean, there's not much left. But, fuck it. We'll go to the other place. because either way it's going to require a whole lot of backtracking. I'm sorry. I should have just gone through the other one to start off with. I'm just being annoyed. It does connect, yeah. I don't know. Oh well, we'll see what we can do. Still all level 33. I think all the zones in here are always going to be 33. Do that. You've obviously been hit by some random traps here. That is a little secret way for what? A silver key or something like that, right? It's optional. But we're here. Oops, something just leveled up. Stand here for a second. What is this? Iron Will support gem. Yeah! That one's really quite good. So, if we rush through this shit and try not to die. Pop that open. Guard supplies. Oh, an orb of fusing is quite nice. I might want to check those gauntlets too. I mean, they're not linked. But it's possible. Yeah, no, okay. So it's not an upgrade over what we got. That we can live without it as well. That we can live without it. This belt has like a fair amount of life. Not tons of life. It's not like we have the world's greatest belt, but it's going to be a start anyway. Okay, well that was a nice little extra treat. Don't mind that we've done that, actually. The Orb of Fusing will be quite nice. Again, we're on such a budget that we'll appreciate that. Orb of Fusing re-rolls the links on an item. What did he... Oh! Oh, this thing! Yeah, we gotta... Okay. This, I think, is also just for an optional side treasure, but we may as well do it. What the hell, right? This zone is apparently full of these treasures. So, you know what? I'm happy we took this little side thing, because it's fun. We gotta stand inside of this circle, which I thought I was. My totem blocking it? While we're in here, it's going to keep spawning critters. And obviously we've got some obstacles to deal with as well. And we need to keep this pushing all the way to the end so that we can get a reward. It'll unlock a door for us. These can actually be... Oh, do you just freeze at the corner a little bit? Oh, okay. These can actually be a little challenging at the higher difficulties because you're being required to place yourself into some pretty serious danger. I mean, this should be very manageable. And luckily, we've got a fair amount of hit point buffer. Although, I will feel a lot better when we do get our blood magic going on. Because you end up with so many more hit points from grabbing those ideas. So you can see there's a locked door over here. And suddenly, it is not locked. Therefore, Mysterious Dark Shrine. Izaro, Pontland gift from our primitive past. Uh-huh. Keeper of the Ring. Oh! Well, hello. Many, many rare rings. Well, that's a sweet little... Wow, that is some damage. Come on, Quill, pay attention. Watch me die on this run, just because I'm trying to do too many things at once. Die. Okay, I should be doing it this way, because that'll burn more efficiently. Thank you. I'm going to keep picking up these Scrolls of Wisdom, because I still don't have unlimited Scrolls of Wisdom. Is this switch actually good? Oh, it's probably just going to move that. So, of dubious value. I suppose I could lock it in there, but that's going to be okay. More switches. Ah, the door. Aspirant's Trial. There we go. So, we took a slightly... different way, but there we go. We do have the blessing of shut one of these guys down on a hit. Just keep these guys refreshed here. Excellent. Yo, he went down and give us loot. That's interesting. Just keep running around. Why would I let him hit me? I don't have to stop and cast anything. It's great. Here, I'll put the totems a little bit more in the middle. And just run around them. Although, they are hitting not the boss, so I might have to be a little bit more careful with my placement to encourage them to hit the boss. Do. Dodge you. Did he come back in at full hit points? So did you just get him down to like half every time? I don't remember. And the last time you do have to actually kill him. Or maybe we really have done very little damage to him. He still came in at 2/3. Wow, that hurt a lot, actually. Do. There he goes. Or no, he's still taunting. Oh. There's so much crap on this one that my totems really are having a hard time dealing damage to the thing I want. without, you know, getting me killed here as I try to bait him into the fire. Here. Come on. And he's killing the totems. And spread them out a little bit more. The totems spread out do tend to, like, you know, not do the same kind of focus fire, but at least they don't tend to get squooshed as quickly. There you go. So he keeps blowing up the totems really fast. Ow. And then almost blowing me up. Okay, this phase is a lot longer than it should be. This is usually, like, really trivial. There he goes. Come on. You're done, right? Thank you. Jesus. That was very embarrassing, actually. Poor performance. Use Spirit Shield. We might give a roll to enchanting you. We'll be a little bit like stumped as to what to do with the shields. Either we can take a shield that increases our spell damage, or we can take shields that increase survivability. I think the latter is always going to be the strongest, but I don't know. So we got, I mean, lots of loot drops from this garbage. So I think we're gonna have 2 more zones to go through over here. Die! Get out of my way, punk. Many switches? Oh, it's just for these obstacles. They're not for doors. They're just for changing the pathing of some of these things. Which isn't too critical. Now, I can't deal damage with my abilities because I've got the Ancestral Bond. I can only deal damage mostly with my totems. But it's worth noting that Flame Dash, while it no longer does damage, still pops barrels. So, that's kind of nice. Because your totems, unless they happen to like spray fire in the direction of a barrel accidentally, will not target barrels. So, if you did want to pop them because they're in your way, or because you want to... 4 silver coins, that's nice. Then, you know... You can just pop them with Flame Dash. It's not the most important thing in the universe, but it's kind of swell. Resources. Okay. So generally, you're going up and to the right is generally your progression here. Clearly not always, because sometimes things go a little bit wonky, but I don't know if we're going to bother to kill that guy. I'm worried that I should have gone somewhere else over here. I don't know. We'll see. That's a whole lot of dudes here. But we're going to be alright. Go, go, go. Burn, burn, burn. Excellent. Okay. It's worth probably getting it for a fair amount of XP. This is a little dense as well. If we go here, we can at least cluster them up pretty well in a row. Die, die. Hey, level up. Okay, so we're going to go back on our path this way, which is going to get us more life, and what we're doing is we're probably beelining towards blood magic, which getting this by itself isn't going to make a huge difference, although it will be nice to just stop doing mana stuff. That's only 110 mana, but it also unlocks a bunch more bonus life stuff, which is going to be swell. So we're just going to go and unlock all those and be slightly tougher. 4 links. You know, I don't think you sell 4 links for anything more, do you? I think I forgot to store stuff in my chest last time I hit the stash. That's okay. I can't remember 4 links sell for anything better. I mean, they don't give you, like, there's not a huge crazy recipe. So I don't think it is. So it's really not a big deal if it's not a type of armor I'm going to be wearing. Pop the trunk. Nothing there. Oh, I see a doorway over there. Just barely at the corner of my vision. State walkways. We'll just confirm. I mean, it should be in the right direction. Yeah, so we should be able to find the Aspirant's Trial here, or we'll find a door that's backtracking. But again, I think if we go up and to the right, we're more likely to find the path to the Aspirant's Trial, which is going to be the final boss fight, which will let us get our Ascension point. Ooh, we got to be a little careful here. So these big statue guys are actually a really good like counter to the totem because it's just one big pile of hit points as opposed to a lot of things that I can just spray and use the fact that we've got penetration with. Let's see here. Yeah, that is a rainbow item, which is good. Hook sword. Should I have gone back to that corner? I don't think so. I don't know. I think we're okay, although I'll be kind of upset if it turns out I missed something. Well, there's a doorway. Is it the doorway to the Aspirant's Trial? It is. Perfect. We'll make sure to hit our stash here, because otherwise we won't be able to pick up... Well, the boss himself doesn't tend to drop that much loot. It tends to be the thing after the boss that gives you most of the loot here. Let me just go and... Good enough. Okay. Alright, so we're going to try real hard not to die here, because it would be a shame to die right at the end. Now, I tend to like to poke around and see... Are there any... Okay, there's no... Are all the traps disabled? Are all the traps disabled on normal now? That is new. Interesting. Because I was going to say, I usually like to go around and verify if there are any bits. So we might want to kill all those little helper dudes here, because otherwise we're going to end up in a similar situation as last time. Whatever, just spray wherever you are. I want to find out if there's any of those poison needles that slow you down, because that's like #1 cause of death for me, is suddenly finding myself unable to move really well while I'm being poison needled, which A, do a fair amount of damage by themselves if you keep getting hit by it repeatedly, and B, can mean you can't dodge some shit. So I want to know where those are normally. But, looks like, wow, looks like that's not a case here. So mostly I just want to try to keep the population of monsters sort of arranged in a way that this guy's going to keep getting hit by our fire. He's going down pretty fast now, so it seems to be okay. And of course, killing monsters regenerates your flask. So I mean, you know, there's value in and of themselves to doing that. Missed me, missed me. So I can't remember what the first 2 points in our ascension will give us. Does it give us the totem burning right away? It might just give us more totem damage or something right away. It's when you get your third and fourth point. The fourth point in particular gives you the cool thing where if your... I think it's the fourth point, where if your totems or you kill someone who's burning, then you get you can get endurance charges from that. And that's really nice. Endurance charges are really valuable. There are 3 types of charges in the game that you can accrue from various things. I can't remember if you can stack multiple... Hello. It's not even from the boss. That's from just a random trash mod. I can't remember if you can stack different charges or not. Oh, double treasure key. I'm betting that's from one of the things we popped before. It said something about Izaro, and usually that's how you get the second key. But one of them gives you more crit, one of them gives you more like attack speed and stuff, and one of them, the endurance charges, give you like damage resistance and health regen. So clearly that one's quite popular, and in particular will be quite useful for us. Normally you'd have to cast like Enduring Cry or something like that to end up picking them up. Scale doublet, is it? No, we can live without that, it's fine. But if you can get them automatically from one of your Ascension powers, then that becomes beautiful. Now, I don't think there's, like, any rhyme or reason to the chest, right? Some contain all currency and some contain all items, but I still don't know if there's anything specific. I mean, maybe that's not even true, that they're all whatever. They're just huge chests with lots of drops. Apparently that one was really bad. Damn. This one gave us a little currency and some rares. This was all blues? Give me a break. Anyway, the Divine Foot here is what lets us enchant a pair of gloves, which is why we wanted a half-decent pair of gloves before coming in here. So we're going to do that. We get Cast Word of Blades on hit. Okay. I don't know if that's going to interact with our Ancestral Bond in a positive way or not. I mean, there's some that's like kind of summoning minions. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we don't have to dump this stuff right now. In fact, if we're going to do anything, we're like maybe going to pick up some more stuff so we're ready to vendor. I mean, it's still our stash. But here's the big thing. Altar of Ascendancy. So we're going to send as a Chieftain here because that's going to give us the stuff. There you go. When you or your totem kills burning enemy, 20% chance for you and your totem to gain an endurance charge. I really like this one a lot. I mean, you don't have to go that way. There's a few other possibilities. Here, enemies near your totem deal less damage and they take more damage. That's pretty good. 4 strength gives you a bunch more armor and things like that. I'm not going to go up this rank. Moon's Essence is definitely going to be a big priority. And this makes your totems tougher and tauntier. I don't think that's what we're looking for. Yeah, we're looking for Hinekora's Death's Fury over here, I think. Fire damage leached as life. Damage penetrates fire resistance. 1% of damage dealt by your totems is leached to you as life. Like, I really like that a lot. Gain 20% physical damage as extra fire damage to your totems. Well, that doesn't help so much because we're not really doing physical damage. But I know I want this. So I think I'm just going to go directly for Nagamuhu's Flames Advance. Which, if we're burning people, then we do more damage. And this also increases our chance to burn people. And gives us more fire damage as well. And some life regen, which is always swell. I mean, maybe it makes more sense to start with the Moon's Presence. I don't think it really matters too much. And I would really like to get Sun's Light as quickly as possible. I love getting those endurance charges rocking and rolling. So, anyway, we're definitely going Chieftain. That's a no-brainer. We're going to ascend as a Chieftain, and we've got 2 points to spend. So we're going to go ahead in this area over here. Boom. All right, swell. Excellent. And then we can pop out, return to town. Hooray! All right, so again, I'll probably do a little bit of content on my own between episodes, just power through some of the Act 4 stuff, and we'll come back when it's time to see the new acts. Thanks for watching. See you next time.